Hi guys, welcome to Work in Progress Wednesday. Not so much again a work in progress as well. It actually is, because I did start doing this a long time ago and then never got around to finishing it, so yeah, I guess it counts as a work in progress. More an organisation again. Yeah, that's cute. I need to stitch that at some point. Now that I have started doing the 52 tags handmade challenge again, sorry, I'll just reach for them. Yeah, so that was week one. That was week one was all white. Week two was heart. Week three was scrappy. And week four, I did it! Woohoo! Was fly stitch. It took ages to do the fly stitch one because it really baffled me. I couldn't get it properly and it drove me insane, but then I gave up and didn't want to do any of them. So I'm slowly catching up again. I'm way behind. We're on week 10 and a half at the moment. On this Friday, it's Wednesday today. I am actually... Is that focused? Can't tell. Yep. I am actually... There you go. Filming on Wednesday, the actual day. Whether it goes up today or not, I can't promise, because yeah, the editing program's been fine, a bit slower than usual, but uploading to YouTube and YouTube processing the videos has been an absolute nightmare. It took me 9 hours last night to get a video up and process, and even then I had to leave it running overnight, so yeah. But anyway, like I said, I'm way behind. So today's Wednesday. On Friday this week we'll be on week 11. This is only week 4, so I am way behind. But as I have started doing them again, I figured now would be a good time to get my stuff organised. This is my sewing box that I have had. Sewing box, it's a tub that I have had for ever and a day. Ever since I can... Well, not ever since I can remember, but I've had it a long time. That's a recent addition. That's from when I got a new binding kit. And all these bits and pieces in here are what I've accumulated over the years. There's some white thread in there. Yep, from my mum and what have you. Some of these bobbins of cotton in there are ancient. Yeah, some of these bobbins of cotton in there are... like I said, ancient. I've had them since I were a kid. That is Nimo thread. Beaders will be familiar with this. Like I said, it's Nimo. Or Nemo, as a lot of people wrongly call it. It's actually Nimo because it's nylon thread. But yeah, there are buttons in there. Just, yeah, I've had it for ages. That's like my everyday sewing kit sort of thing. I just find it easy to keep it in that tub, so if I want to sew a pair of jeans or whatever, I will grab for that. Yeah, so this is what my mum gave me. This was my practice last week before doing my tag. That was practicing the fly stitch last week, like I said, before I actually did the tag. Yeah, now you're probably looking, thinking, why on earth have you got a tag punch, not tag, a tab punch in there? Well, I'm going to show you guys, as you may have just noticed anyway. I'm going to do some DIY bobbins, spools, whatever you want to call them. And I've actually thought of something else since, and I'm going to show you how to do them as well. I recently bought myself some pinking shear scissors. So these are the typical ones that you kind of associate with material. They give the zigzaggy edge. I do have another pair here because I got them in a set of 2. And this is the scalloped edge. But I've put them to one side to use on paper because I can make 4 stamps out of them. With them, the edges around stamps, yeah. But yeah, so they are my material ones. The other ones are going to be used for paper. That is a cross stitch bird, so you use those holes to stitch in to create the bird, a bit like I did with this one with the heart. That was one that was already had the holes punched into it, and then you stitch around it. But yeah, so that's in there. I haven't cross stitched for years. I don't have the patience for it. I can do it, but I don't have the patience for it. That heart there took a lot of patience. But yeah, as you can see, I have already done some of these. I did these last year, I think it were. I've already started doing some of these. But yeah, so I'm going to add this white one in for a start. My other idea, before I go do that, my other idea was to grab one of my hole punchers. I need a piece of paper to practice on, so let's just grab a piece from the bin. Right, now that hole's too small. I think this one might be too big. Yeah, I think that one could be too big. Oh no, that's actually the medium sized one. This is the big one, I think. Yeah, no, right. We'll go with this one, the medium sized one. And my thought was to, I've got a little slit in it there to wrap the thread around. They're not particularly strong, but you know, they'll do. And I'm just going to punch a hole in this other side here at the top, like that. Now I could put a eyelet through that, I suppose, and crunch it with my crocodile, which would make it stronger. You know, so do that. Let's just do this for the sake of demonstration purposes. I don't think it's necessary actually, but you know, we'll see. I'll just swap it back over to the big one because I was doing some smaller holes the other day. So pop that in there and crunch that down. Great stuff. The reason I say I don't think it's necessary is I think thread might catch on that side, but we'll see. Because I have loads of decorative, coloured and decorative things. What are they? Eyelets. Oh, brain today. I've got loads of decorative eyelets in there, and some of these coloured ones that I'm probably rarely ever going to use, because I do tend to stick to these ones quite a lot. The one thing I like about these is the shaft on them is bigger than these. It's a bit wider, longer. Oh, I can't get my words out today, guys. Anyway, yeah, what I was thinking was, when you've used a bit, like when you've pulled a bit off and you have some left over, you could then use this part of it, instead of wrapping it around again and through there, you could use this part of it and loop it through. The reason I thought of that is because I've been watching a lot of people doing the tags challenge, Rachel in particular from Roxy Creations, and she uses the plastic. She's got a box with the plastic spools in, and they have holes in the top. I've noticed they have holes in the top for you to be able to do this. So I was like, ooh, maybe I need to do that with mine as well. So yeah, you just like loop it through, and then you've got that bit there, and you know, you could have numerous bits of thread there instead of having to wrap it around again and then around this bit, which is going to get torn. Anyway, yeah, I know what I mean. So pop that to one side, put the eyelets back. As you can see, I have a big huge mess. Some of it is a little bit organised, a lot of it isn't. And then I've got even more in there, and then if I take that bag out, there are a few little bits down there as well. And then I have a tub full too. Some of them are actually still got the things on, so yeah, very overwhelming. Like I said, some of them are still bound up, so that makes it life a lot easier. But yeah, I figured now's the time. I'm surprised, actually. I've surprised myself that my OCD hasn't gone, sort it out, woman. But actually, it hasn't. It hasn't bothered me. Mum gave me these after... What's some Aida there? Keep that. Mum gave me these after she had gone through all her stash, because she loves to cross-stitch. So, yeah, she gave me these after she'd gone through all of her stash and sorted it out properly. She made her own makeshift reels, bobbins and stuff like that, and sorted it all out herself. I think she's ordered some a proper like organisation things since. And she gave me these a few years ago when I first started making journals. She's like, I know you're not a big sewer, cross-stitcher, what have you, but I thought you might find all these useful for using when you're binding your journals, because at the end of the day it's just thread. So I'm like, yeah, great, awesome. And I have, over the years, I've used these a lot to bind journals with, to use as tag toppers and all sorts of stuff like that. I've just tangled that in a knot, but I'm not bothered. Yeah, so like I said, this is all stuff that she either couldn't be bothered sorting or that she had multiples of anyway, so she weren't bothered about them. And she just threw them in a bag. Oh no, it's come untangled. Typical. She just threw them in a bag and said, right, there you go, take them, you can have them. So, yeah. And now, like I said, I am using them for the purposes of actually sewing with them. That's the same thread. In fact, I think I used some of this last week. It looks familiar. Yeah, so I think now is the time to, like I said, get some organising done. Let's start with the big ones. The ones that are already kind of sorted and not all tangled up in a big mess. Okay, so they're quite easy to keep together. I don't need to wind them round a bobbin yet. I don't think. I mean, I could do, but we'll untangle that one in a minute. Let's have a look at these. What's this one? Is this like variegated, or is it all different colours on one strand? They're all different colours together, right? So they could benefit from being on little bobbins. But yeah, so we'll put these to one side now, and I will show you how I made these, my little, not bobbins, spools. Same thing, I suppose. Let's pop that over there to the side and hope it doesn't fall off on me. And I've just realised I don't have anything to make because I've left my cardstock downstairs. I will be back in a moment, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've got this paper pack. I've just been down and quickly grabbed one. I grabbed this one because it's probably one that I won't use either. Well, I'd use that. I was going to say either at all or not very often. And I also have 3 packs of it, so yeah, I have 3 pads of this, so it's time to use it up, I guess. Yeah, a lot of these I won't use. Yeah, so let's just grab a page out. You can get a lot out of one page. I'm using paper pads specifically because of the weight, because they are like 250 GSM, so they're very thick and weighty, so they'll take a bit of knocking them out. I mean, it's not that these get heavy, but as you've seen, we keep winding them on and winding them off and that sort of thing. You know, they need a bit of strength. So let me have a drink. I'm exhausted now. Sorry for the slurping. Okay, so like I said, these I'd already done before. I'm just going to have a quick measure. So we want to cut in, I'd say 2-inch strips. It's not 2-inch as you can see, but well, I don't know if you can see actually wheat being down there. Yeah, as you can see, it's shorter than 2 inch. It is around 1 3/4 inches, something like that. Just shy. Oh no, just dead on 1 3/4 inches. That way. It's 3 inch that way. Well, actually, it's not, but it says it is. See, never trust things when they tell you a 3 inch punch. It's not 3 inch. Look, it's actually only 2.5. But anyway, doesn't bother me in the slightest. But yeah, so and 1.5 inches that way. So I'm going to cut the strips at 2 inch. So this paper pack, this piece of cardstock here, I'm going to cut at 2 inch. So I need my big trimmer because that's too big to go into my small one. And again, I've piled it up. So let's just move some stuff out of the way. We'll use the small one in a minute just for ease of space, but let's cut this down to, well, for a start off, let's cut it down to 6. So let's cut it right down the middle. Got thread stuck. I'm not bothered about direction or anything. You could do, if you're using paper that's pretty or whatever, you could then take note of the direction and do it that way, but I'm not bothered because this is paper I'm not all that fussed about. So, well, that wasn't straight, but never mind. Okay, but now I can use this in my little trimmer, which makes it so much more convenient on the desk. Okay, so here we go. A small one out. I have to say I am loving this new trimmer. I didn't think I would because it's a guillotine style one, or guillotine as some people call them. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of them. I'm really not. I have a large one in the cupboard because I don't like it. But I think it's because I can't gauge. If I'm just looking at something and think, like if I'm looking and think, oh yeah, I want to cut it there, down that edge type of thing, I can't gauge where to put it and where it's going to cut. But when I'm measuring something like I am going to do now, I want 2 inch strips. This is, I love it. It's perfect. Which, like I said, is what I'm going to do. So I want 2 inch strips. So I'm going to line that up there. And I love the fact this is in inches. And it also has the little bits in between, which I have no idea what any of them are. I do when they're on there, but I couldn't tell you that that's 1/8 and 3/8. I can't see, I need my glasses. But yeah, I couldn't tell you if they weren't on there. I couldn't tell you what those in between ones are. So I love that they are on this, because when I'm doing smaller projects, and I got this for tags basically, apart from smaller things, because when I'm making tags I like to make them 2.5 inch wide by 4. That way I do 2.5 inch because, is it 2.5 or 2? 2.5. Yeah, I like to do 2.5 inch wide because of my tag punch that I have. The tag topper punch, should I say. I've got 2 different ones. I've got one that does the scalloped edge and one that does the normal tag edge. And it's a set of 3. It does 3 different sizes, but 2.5 inch wide seems to be my preferred size for tags, and I like to do them 4 inches in length. Don't know why, I just do. But yeah, so this having the proper measurements on is great, and in inches because I can't do centimetres. Yeah, so we're just going to cut along this at 2 inches, because then, you know, we could pop it in there and get probably 2 out of that. Yeah, you're going to have a bit of wastage, but you know, if you're using a paper pack you're not bothered about, then it really doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm cutting that edge, because I don't need to. It'll come off when we do the punching. So, like I said, I'm just going to chop these into little 2 centimetres, 2 inches, not centimetres, 2-inch strips, like so. I must admit, I'm not over fond of the noise it makes when it's slicing, as opposed to the big one that you roll. But, you know, I love this little trimmer, and it's perfect for having here on the desk. I bought another little trimmer a few months back before I got this one, and it was the same brand as my big trimmer. It was just a smaller version. Didn't realise until it came that it's in centimetres, and I can't work it out. Honestly, I just cannot work it out at all. So I was a bit gutted about that. That looks like it's shorter than 2 inch, which it shouldn't be. Let's see if it'll still fit in. Yes, it will still fit in though. Just but yeah, so I'm not going to do that one. I will just punch these out with you guys, and then we'll get back to the organising, because you don't want to sit here all day watching me punch papers. Surely. Can take that off or whatever. I'm not bothered about pattern placement or anything, so I'm just going to stick them in, line it up as best I can, and punch. Now this is great if you have a punch. I mean, I have dies as well that would do these, but you know, I'd have to do it, feed them in one by one, and do it either by hand on my little one or mess about all day with the big one. So I just find the punch a lot quicker and a lot easier. But you do you. And like I said, this is just like your own makeshift cheap way of making spools to wrap your thread around. By all means, go and buy some. I probably will at some stage, because this is going to get old very quick for me. Especially with all that thread that I've got to sort through. And I do need a proper organisation box for everything, like storage box. But yeah, but for now I actually quite enjoy doing it this way. And again, I'm just showing you a bit of a thrifty way. I mean, also the punch, if you haven't got one and you were thinking of buying one, weigh up the options. I mean, this is awesome because, you know, you can use it for all sorts of things, because it is literally a tab punch. So once you punched it, you just fold them in half and you use them as tabs and journals and things like that. But I'm not doing that for this purpose. But, you know, I like this because I can use it for multiple different things. But if I was buying it solely just to create these little spools for thread, then I'd be trying to weigh up the option of, is it worth the cost of the punch and the manual labour to do it myself, or would it be cheaper or much easier to buy the storage? Yeah, I already had the punch. I bought it ages ago for the paper purposes, journals. So for me, this is easier. No, I wouldn't say easier. I'd say more convenient for now. Right, let's do these blue ones. But yeah, so the only other thing that I did was in one corner, not so much in the corner, but I will just zoom you in a little bit and hopefully remember to stay in frame. Yeah, so kind of not so much directly in the corner, just a little bit in. I just put a little slit in there. What's that? Half an inch? A quarter of an inch even, something like that. No, half, yeah, we're right, half an inch. You know, just kind of the tip of the scissors. Small scissors, that is. You know, that's it. And that's so that once we've wound it round, when you get to the end, you can just slot it through there, which I will show you. Let's find the big piece and try not to tangle it again. This is what I find kind of the hardest part, is actually untangling it enough to be able to wrap it on and then not tangling it again. And all I do, I'm going to back out because I know I'll end up off screen if I don't. I just leave a little bit hanging there and hold it there and then wrap around that middle bit. Because you can see there's a little indentation there. So I just hold a little bit, like a tail if you will. And yeah. Hold a little bit and wrap around until you've got it going a few times. That's it. And then, you know, that will eventually kind of disappear into the spool with the rest of it. Oh gosh. And then I don't go all the way around the middle all the time. I kind of move and I go all the way up and down that section. Throughout that dip there. I don't just stay in the middle and go round and round and round. I move up and down kind of thing all the way along top to bottom so that it spreads it out across it and it's not putting pressure right in the middle all the time, because then the card bends or tears, whatever. And I'm not wrapping it tightly, I'm just loosely, not loosely loosely either. Wow, words today. Can you see how nice and evenly it's filling that gap now instead of all just being bunched up in one big ball in the middle? Like I said, I am not wrapping it super tight, I'm not pulling, but I'm not doing it really loosey-goosey either. I am just putting a little bit of pressure on and that's it. And then we're getting to the end now, so I think, right, well, I can't tuck that up there now, so come back one and then slot it through like that, come around this bit and back through just a couple of times so that it's on there, and that's it, done. There you have it. And then you can spread it out a little bit more with your fingers, and there you go. So that's that one. Yeah, I haven't actually done it with any of them obviously because I was doing it, but I'll show you what I mean by not wrapping it all around in the middle. And it looks kind of cool. And of course, if you've got a paper pack that you're not all that fond of, this is perfect. And, you know, by the time you finish, you'll have loads of these little cards that look pretty. Pardon me. And then if you've got a box or whatever, you can stand them all up in a line that way. Bear in mind, the more you put on, the thicker it will, you know, the fatter it'll be. So then the next one won't lie as flat. Right, I'll show you with this little bit what I meant about doing it just in the middle. So again, back through that middle bit, and we're just going to stay in that middle bit and I'll show you the difference. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same obviously because there's not as much thread, but yeah, I mean, there you go. And then imagine all of that bunched just in that little tiny space there. It kind of seems pointless when you've got all of that bit, but also eventually your card won't take it and it'll just break. I've had that happen, that's why I don't do it. When I have another long piece like this, all I do is the same again, but I hold it in the middle. Hold it in the middle and just keep wrapping around. Doing the same. And then again around the outside edge. And there you go. And then we come to these little bits that I've pulled off before and used. So now would be the time to use the hole puncher, like I said. Here, actually, I was just thinking you could put quite a few holes across there instead of just the one, which I will do, because that would be probably kind of useful, especially if you've got more than one thread like I have here. I don't know, this idea, I'm just playing. It just kind of come to me the other day when I was watching Rachel's video. In the middle, and then loop it through. I'm not putting eyelets in, but this is it. If you're not going to put an eyelet in, then be warned, don't tug on that too much because it will rip the card. But I'm not going to waste 6 eyelets in that one there. And then, I mean, you can leave it long like that. All I did was just looped it around a couple of times just to make it shorter. Find the middle of that loop. And then pull through. That is cool. I love that idea. Okay, so I've just learned something else as well. And I could have done that with that last spool of thread, but yeah, cool. Love it. Okay, so, and then just throw that in that box for the time being. Actually, no, we'll put it to one side and then we see what we've done, including this one with the eyelet for comparison later. Oh, do you know, these tubs, they don't shut properly. It's a good idea, but they don't shut properly. Right, so what was next? This purple one, wasn't it? Oh, this is going to be fun. Also, when you're doing this, I mean, unless you're cross-stitching and you want yards and yards and yards of thread, don't be afraid to pull an arm's length and then just cut and use that as one piece and then do it again. Because how anybody can work with thread this long is beyond me. I would definitely get it all tangled. So, you know, I'd rather work with shorter lengths of thread and tie on than have all of this and get it tangled during a project. Because that would just be mega frustrating. Which is also where these little loops would come in useful, because you could cut, you know, have a long piece of the thread in the middle like this, but then cut some shorter ones and loop them through that. That'd be ideal. Oh, this is going quite well actually. Wow, I managed to unravel it all without getting a knot in it. So now I'll probably get a knot in it, tying it around the spool. So again, just start off it. Yeah, keep hold of your tail bit until you've got going a couple of times. That's it. Start off in that middle bit and then around we go, moving up. There we go. Moving. No, it's not focusing. Yep, moving up and down. So from the bottom to the top. Just of that little section there. Like that. Back and forth. Not too tight, not too loose. Just right. It's Taylor's favourite, saying that when you're making him a brew. Would you like a brew, Taylor? Yes, please. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. So, there we go. Back and forth, like that. See, if you pull too tight as well, then the card begins to curl. So, straighten that out as well as you're going. And there you go. So this is also, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm probably well out of focus, aren't I? I'm in frame, I think, but out of focus. I don't know, the lighting's... It's a miserable day outside, but it's bright, so the screen is whitewashing out. I can't see properly. So it's probably, autofocus is probably going scatty right now. Oh yeah. Again, make the slit. Doesn't matter what side you do it on. Okay, so there we go. Round the card like so. And there we go. Nice pretty, oh, that looks pretty on that side, doesn't it? A nice pretty purple one. That was easy because it was all one. These are all one. I could do the same with them, but I could also just leave them like that, which I may do for the moment because, well, it seems a shame to pull them apart. So we'll leave those. Now, what about these? This could be fun. Ooh, what's going on here? I'm going to get these all tangled up, I know it. I just know it. There's 2 lots, that's why. Okay, so let's see if we can get the green one off. Yes. And is that the same colour green? Sorry, head butted you. It is. That one is anyway. There's 2 different shades of green in there. This one is the same as that, so let's see if we can get that off. Yep. Just let me check. Yes, those are exactly the same shade, so they'll do. This one I think is darker, lighter. Yeah, that's a lighter shade. So let's try and get those out. Yeah, that's a lighter shade of green, so pop them there. These I will wrap around a spool because they're only small-ish lengths. They're like, what's that? Is it a yard? Half? Yeah, it's about, I think it's a yard and a half. I can't remember. I'm thinking back to my beading days. I think an arm's length is half a yard or something. I can't remember now. Okay, so we've got a baby blue one. I love that colour, pastel baby blue. Whoops, get off green, get off, get off, get off. This is also blue, but it's, or is it white? It's not white actually, it is blue, but it's a very, very, very pale shade. Almost white, but not white. I don't know colour tones, guys. Someone correct me down below. Yeah, like I said, it is blue, but it's a very, very, very pale blue, almost white. So let's, I've got the greens mixed up now, right? Okay, let's pop them over there. I don't think you can see, but it's just over there, the 2 green piles, because these are the same colours. So let's get them separated and together in the piles. I think there actually is a white one in this pile. Okay, so that goes with them. That one. No, that goes with them. Okay. That's a white one. It's not actually white, it's more of a creamy colour. So put them there. Again with the dark green. So they can go there. This, lost it. That goes with the other green. Oh, no, actually, that's more dark. Alright, the last one wasn't dark green. Wow, it's hard to tell. Right, this is the dark green one. So that goes with that. We'll get there in a minute. And then, yep, that is all that really pale blue one. Okay, so I think I have that. Let's have a look in here. I think that might be the same colour as this one. There's actually 2 tones in there, so that goes with that one. So, and that is not the same colour as that. Oh, it's very close, but it's not the same colour. Okay, let's undo this because there's some of this in here. There. Okay, so we have that one, and then we have this one. Okay, so that is all white now. Yeah. Yep, that's all white. Nope, different tone. Different tone again. Okay, so let's put these back on there. I think I'll take 2 of them off. Actually, doing it the new way, let's take 2 of them off. So I've got 3 different strands on there. Let's get wrapping again. Put it back on. There we go, around there, and then make, oh, that were a bit close to the edge, make 2 holes in there. Oh gosh, which one were I working with? This one. And then put these through. That way I don't have to unravel the whole lot just to get one lot of thread. Okay, so that one, and then this one. Double it over again, and then just pop it through the hole. And loop it through. Cool. Okay, so you start with the ones on the holes first, and then that can come later, and then you could always just wrap that around as well to stop the dangling. That would be a good idea. Cool. Okay, so I bet this is really thrilling for you guys to be watching. But you know, this is what I'm doing today, so I mean, apart from this being a work in progress Wednesday video, this is what, excuse me, this is what I was doing today. So, you know, that's basically what these work in progress Wednesday videos are now. It's just whatever I am working on that Wednesday. So, and like I said, today I am working on these, ready for catching up with my week 5 of the Handmade 52 tags handmade challenge. And week 5 is X's, I think it's kisses. So basically cross stitch. Yeah. So what Anne did was she oh sorry guys, I'm really itchy. My hair's getting really long and it's dangling down my back. I've got a stray piece of hair dangling down the back of my neck and it was tickling and it just freaked me out a little bit. Oh my gosh, I can't wait till it's time to get an haircut. But yeah, like I was saying, the week 5, I believe, I will check in a moment. I believe that week 5 was, yeah, because it's in the past, was kisses, X's. And what Anne did was she layered up a lot of different materials, like scrappy bits of materials, and then she did, like as a background, sort of background to sew onto, and then she crisscrossed 2 pieces of material and then she sewed down them, and then she just did loads of cross stitching around the project. But yeah, so that was the X's, which was the kisses one. So there we go, there's the 2 extras, so just wrap them around as well to save space. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be keeping them to one side and I'm putting them back in there. Right, I'll leave that open over there. Putting these to one side because then I want to show you what we did later. I say later, we're like 32 minutes in, so I will actually end this soon. There we go. So, oops. Let's just do this blue one, and then I will end the video because you've seen enough, you know. I think you get it now, if you're even still watching. And yeah, so this one I'm actually going to cut in a half ish, so put the 2 ends together. This works for me, so because I don't need massively long pieces, like I said, that works for me, so I'm just going to do that. I'll put my slit in now before I forget again, and then these 2 here I will find the ends, put them together, and then wrap these together, or try to. There we go. Up and down all along, and then, ooh, that only just made it. Like that, and then make 2 holes across there. I'm just going to do 2 for now, but then maybe as time, actually let's do a couple more, I might as well. I'm going to say as time goes on I could add more holes maybe. Might as well do it now. Although these, I do have these hole punches to hand at all times, so if I end up with more than one thread going on, then yeah, it's easy enough just to punch another hole. Or I can wrap it around the same hole a few different times by doing the same thing. But yeah, so open the loop and pull that through, and there we go. For anybody who's not familiar with that process, for a start off, like I said, I'll just fold that in half and then half again. So with the loopy bit at the top, this counts for anything, not just this, tag toppers and all sorts. So with the loopy bit at the top, you thread it through the hole. She says. Like so. Once it's through the loop, through the hole, or a tag topper or whatever, just get your fingers in between the loop. Okay, and then with these loose bits at the end, put it up and over, like this, from the back, through the loop. Whoops, I missed it. Yeah, keep your fingers through. Sometimes it's easier to put your finger and your thumb through, and then you bring this up and over, grab and pull through the loop, and then tighten, and that's how you create that little loopy effect. Okay, so I'll show you that again in a bit easier motion, hopefully. Right, so loopy bit at the top, dangly bits at the bottom, back out just a teeny bit, okay? Like so. It doesn't matter how long it is, you can go in any side, it doesn't matter. One side will have that loopy bit on and the other side will have that bit on. So, you know, if you're going through a top of, like through the top of a tag and you're going directional, I think you come, I'm not sure, I think you come from behind to get that loop on the top. I can never remember which way to do it. But yeah, so it doesn't matter if you come through the bottom or that way. That only matters if you want that on top or that on top. But yeah, so I'm going to come up from underneath, put my finger through the loop and my thumb. This is handy if you've got long thread. And then this bit here, up and over, I'm going to grab with my finger and my thumb and pull it through that loop, up or down. Alright, there you go. And that's it. Okay, so that was actually going through the back, and the knotty bit is on the other side. I'll do it again. Okay, so through the hole, pull the loop, like I said, loopy bit at the top, finger and thumb through if you can. With this on the other side of the hole, pull it up and over, grab with your finger and your thumb, pull the loop over so you now have this, and pull, and there you go. That's what you have. So yeah, there you go guys. So that's how you would make your own little bobbing cards and organise your own threads for cross stitching or the handmade challenge. Yeah, 52 tags handmade challenge. I'll link to Anne's thing below. And then like I said, with this one, if you wanted to reinforce those holes, then put an eyelet in. But I am actually a little bit concerned that these threads might get caught on the back of the eyelet, because you've to smush it down, which is fine, but sometimes you can get a bit of a rough part, and then like I said, the thread may get caught in it. But it would definitely reinforce it, so and you could put several of these through the same loop if you wanted. I mean, I've just shown you there that we've done that through 2 separate holes, but you can go through the same hole with more than one thread. So we've already got one on there threaded. Let's do another one. So let's just come in and loop that one through. And there you go, we've now got 2 on the same hole that don't really affect each other. You know, you just pull on that to get it off, to undo it. I've got one on either side there, but it doesn't matter. And like I said, to take them off, you find this bit here and you just get hold of it and pull. Oops. Can't get this right. Do that. Okay, so do that again. Come on. Focus. Thank you. Yeah, so to get them off, you find that bit, not the underneath. Well, you could do the underneath bit, but it's easier to grab that bit. Just get hold of it and gently pull, and off it comes. So yeah, like I said, you can do more than, you know, you can have more than one in the same hole. But for the moment, I'm just going to stick them on separate ones. But yeah, so there you go guys, and in today's video we've done that one, that one was kind of already done, but we just added some more to it. Excuse me, we did this one. We did this one, which was the first one that we did, where we reinforced it with an eyelet. Then we did the purple one, or we did, I can't remember whether we did the purple one first anyway, but yeah. And then we've done this one as well. There you go. And then all I said, like I said, all I've done with these now is just get a hold of them and wrap them around as well. You know, you can even, Okay, sorry guys, I've no idea where that went off, but anyway, you get the gist. But yeah, so I was just saying then that these won't last forever because it's only cardstock, and of course the more you faff about wrapping around and what have you, the more flimsy they're going to get. But yeah, it's a great little kind of organisation thing and space saver, I guess. Because I mean, at the moment I'm just throwing them loose into this little tub here, the ones that have been done anyway, so that I can find them. But eventually I will go through them all, and I have loads of these little boxes now. They're in a big tub at the back of me. I will have, I think I don't have enough threads to fill the full box. Right, this is the box at the back of me. Yeah, this is the big box, and it unclips and opens up, and then you've got all these little boxes inside. I've got some ephemera in there and what have you. So like this box, when full or not, would then sit in there like that. I think my aim would be to get all these threads done and then put them in colours. So like them blues, the groupings of different blues, and there's some different greens in there, and then I've got 2 different colours of green in there. There's already 2 different colours in there that are different than the 2 I've got on the desk. So then, you know, like maybe have boxes where there's all whites and creams in there, all colours of blues in there, and then all greens in another one, and kind of do it like that. But I think I'd have way too many threads to do the full box, so maybe just 1 row and then save 1 row for ephemera. But that's kind of my goal, if you will. I think it's to get it all sorted, because at the moment they're all just here in this little basket. Or my other goal would be to do that with them and then put them in like these plastic tubs and stack. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit more organised than I was. So anyway, I am going to love you and leave you guys. Like I said, I've no idea where the video just cut off. I don't know why it just cut off. It were only at 30 something minutes, which is unusual because it usually goes to an hour. But anyway, yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. It's charged as well, it's at 70%. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. It was a nice, calm paced video today for a change. Yeah, and I will love you and leave you guys, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, guys. Bye.